Alright, it's Friday the 13th, right? It's quiet. A lot of people fear this day. A lot of people are superstitious. They believe it's a curse. Yada, yada, yada. I personally myself don't believe in all that. I believe in, ghosts, demons, spiritual things, dimensions. But curses, I don't. I'm not superstitious. However, as you can see by the title of this video, is Halloween going away? Now, what I'm about to explain in this video, and this is going to be straight to direct upload, so no fancy editing, no fancy angles. For this, so we're kind of going to go back old school a little bit, how I used to do these videos. But what I'm about to say, it may not be the same for everybody. It may not be the same for every state. It may not be the same for every town, city. But what I see on social media, with some people, it's happening to where they stay at. And I live in a small, poor, rural Christian community town. That's very hypocritical. And start in July, I noticed some places were putting up Christmas stuff, right? Some of the places to name, a little bit of your dollar stores, a little bit of your pharmacy places, and a bit of a Hobby Lobby to Walmart, just to name a few. Then, after about a couple of months passed, right, where we're at now, a good majority of places are actually refusing and not putting out Halloween items at all. A lot of what they got in, they actually got rid of. That even includes candy, right? So what I'm seeing these stores do, they're putting up sale prices on like figures and putting up knickknacks and putting out, Christmas items right now, which is very odd because usually coming around the middle of the month, which would be the 20th of every month of September, is when you see, a lot of stores put out Halloween stuff, right? Now, yes, because it is almost fall and the leaves are starting to fall off the tree, you do have stores that put out fall decorations that people use for Thanksgiving and also throughout Christmas as well. So you have that. And the stores that I'm about to name, again, it may not be the same for everybody where you stay at. And I can only speak on me from what I'm seeing. So, you have your Walmart, right? Your Aldi's, your Ollie's, your dollar stores, your pharmacy stores, your Targets, your Hobby Lobbies, your party places that are putting out Christmas stuff and not putting out the Halloween things. The only thing I'm not going to count in this video are churches, because, churches, even though they are a hypocritical place, they usually do something for the kids to where, you could dress up, but you have to dress up like religious figures, right? So a lot of places right now, I just find weird because a lot of more Christmas stuff is going up, and you're seeing a lot more places get rid of their Halloween stuff. And I know somebody or a lot of people's like, well, it's not safe to do Halloween. It's not safe for kids. It's, you know, we live in bad, crazy times. Well, I need to correct you guys on that. For those that think that, for those that say that, we've been living in crazy times. It's just now we're starting to hear about this more and more of killings, shootings, kidnappings, things of that nature. You know, that stuff's been around for many years. But we're starting to see it and hear it a lot more because of we have technology, you know, social media and the news, and you know, it gets out there a lot more, even though it's always been around. And throughout the past several years, especially last year, again, it may not be the same for everybody what I'm about to say, but you know, last year, barely anybody seeing kids / trick-or-treaters. And Halloween, and a lot of people packed it up at 8 o'clock. And it doesn't really start getting dark here till around your 7 o'clock hour. Now, some people decided to bring their kids out early in the daytime. And, you know, in some towns and some states, they actually do prefer trick-or-treating at daytime, but some parents brought their kids out in the daytime to go take them to, you know, businesses that do give out candy. And then last year they had a little small event in the square for the kids to get candy as well. And some people who said, man, you know, here in this town, a lot of people like to pump fake, lie and shit. I got all types of trick-or-treaters. Well, no, you didn't, because a lot of that shit got packed up at 8 o'clock. Again, it may not be the same for everybody, but I'm starting to notice Halloween disappear. You know, a lot of people are steering towards it. You know, back when I was coming up, you know, I'm 29 years old, going on 30. I am 29 years old, going on 30 in November. You used to have a group of kids with a couple adults from 6 o'clock till around 1 o'clock midnight going around houses getting candy. You did. You stayed out. You actually brought your kids to fun events, which were things that were going on with schools, and even haunted houses. They don't even do that anymore. They don't. You know, a lot of parents don't feel safe with their kids being in school, so you got to understand something. What's been going on in schools, and I talked about this in my thoughts on the mass shootings video. That stuff, you know, with kids hurting each other and killing each other, that's been since the dawn of time. Again, it's just now we're starting to hear about it a lot more because of social media. You know, some people end up going missing because they wander off. That's why they don't do the haunted fields or farms or woods anymore. I say the real last one that I can recall was, I say many years ago because I don't know exactly when it was, but there was an old part of a highway or road people used to take to go to Nashville. They don't take it anymore. It used to be where a statue was. And on top of this hill, every year, where an old tower that used to go to an old castle used to be at, they used to do haunted housing there. Right? And I remember, you know, a really bad storm came through and it ended up collapsing during a mudslide, and the house pretty much, you know, gave out because of that. You know, where we are now, why I believe we're starting to see Halloween go away, and something tells me we may not get it next year. You know, where we live at now and the times that we stay in, We now have to stay into a filtered, dimmed down life, reality, if you will, where things have to be, again, dimmed down, toned down, filtered, sugar-coated, gumdrops and rainbows, and where we now live in very sensitive times to where, we have to have sensitivity now. There are just certain people that can't handle things. What about the kids, right? Let me tell you something. If you don't like certain things, you don't have to. Everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone has a right to choose what they like and what they don't like. I wasn't raised to be a fucking scaredy cat pussy to where life had to be, it has to be filtered. All things have to be turned down. No. If you're babying your children and if you're trying to baby the adults as well, because things have to be toned down, filtered, then maybe this life isn't for you, but this is how this new age works, to where we have to cater to the whiny asses, and we're raising fucking pussies out here because they find shit fucking sensitive? No. What? We find, what? You have these horror movies that have been coming out for the past couple of years now, from the Conjuring universe to the Annabelle movies, right? A lot of people started fucking saying, oh my God, it's too much, it's too much. This is how bad shit really got. They decided to protest, boycott, and ban 2 movies that were supposed to be in theaters back in 2014, which was American Satan and Leatherface. I swear to God, that shit was all over the media and it was a real thing. Because supposedly the title American Satan was too offensive to people, and Leatherface was too much for people to handle. And now, I guess Halloween falls into that same category, to where it's too sensitive for people to handle. It's too scary. Look, I wasn't raised for everything to be gumdrops and rainbows. I had a rough upbringing. So life, in reality, is going to not be fun. It's going to be dark. It's going to be harsh. It's going to be scary. It is. Like, fucking seriously, man. Is this the world now we live in, where things, again, have to be sheltered, filtered, dimmed down, sugar-coated, covered up, babied, raising pussies, because, they can't handle certain things anymore in life? No. If people can't handle and don't like things, then let that be for them. Let them go somewhere else. But let the people that do enjoy Halloween decorations, fundamental things, candy, being scared, let people have that, the ones that enjoy it. But let me tell you something. Today's generation, they're so fucking hypocritical that they're playing off the role of devil worshipping, being emo, right? That stuff falls into the Halloween area of that. But then here they are, to where now we're raising a very sensitive generation in sensitive times, right? Shit got so hectic back in 2017 with the first It movie, with Chapter 1, to where they literally had to bring their kids to see a fucking therapist because it was like that. Really? So by next year, something tells me that, we're not going to get Halloween, and that there's going to be certain showings for people that can handle scary stuff, and then dimmed down versions of scary stuff for the sensitives. Real talk, man. Because again, you know, we're living in a very sheltered world now. Sensitive times, you gotta be sensitive. Look, man, fuck being sensitive to somebody else's feelings. And what I'm saying, I really mean this, and I believe it to the fullest. I'm not here to be sensitive to you. That ain't how life works. But you have the people that like to spoil it for everyone else, especially in this town, to where, guess what? There ain't no Halloween shit out. So they went right to fucking Christmas. We ain't even got to Thanksgiving yet, let alone the month of October. We haven't. And let me tell you something, though. Again, I had a rough upbringing. And during my rough upbringing, I seen, you know, spirits, ghosts, demons, hauntings. You know, that shit's real. And those that say, man, it's not real, let me tell you something. If you were raised on going to church, reading the Bible, it talks about that. That shit's real. So if you believe in God and Satan, heaven and hell, you go to church hearing about the ghost, Holy Ghost, demons, right? When you die, your soul either goes to heaven or hell, but your spirit stays on earth. So yes, those things are real. Now let me tell you something, man. I seen some scary shit that times I didn't understand. You know, my brother-in-law, my family are like magnets to that, to the ghost, to the spiritual realm. My mother, her uncles who were, you know, my uncles who were her brothers, you know, my sister, my brother-in-law, myself, got stories for days of the shit we experienced. If my grandfather was still around, I would love to get him on camera so he can tell stories of the things that he experienced with stuff like that, especially in the house that everyone lived in at the time. You know, that shit's very real. People also talk about energy, right? The energy that you put out into this world can manifest itself into something real. And that's true. If you put out negative energies, it's going to manifest itself into something that you don't want. So, you know, things of like that, what you hear about is real. It may not happen like you see on, you know, the movies, because that's Hollywood, but shit like that, you know, it's very, very real. You know, being possessed by demons are real. My brother-in-law got possessed once and had to go through an exorcism because he had one of the fallen angels possessing him. You know, that's how it goes, man. But again, we now have to live in a very sensitive world for sensitive pussies that can't handle shit because people are too scared. And that's why I named this title of this video, you know, Halloween, or is Halloween going away, depending on what title I choose. And again, from the things that I'm seeing is that we're starting to see a lot of stuff, you know, again, depending on where you stay at. It may not be the same for everybody, from what I said, but there's a lot more Christmas stuff out to where there's no more Halloween stuff. Something tells me by next year, certain states, certain towns, certain cities will not be doing Halloween anymore. And this town is going to be one of them. So again, it may not be the same for everybody. But those that see this video, no matter where you stay at, let me know, are you guys seeing the same thing that I explained in this video? Let me know, man. With that being said, I'm out.